what's up? It's just Edward James Wada. I go by Nero Knight, and I've been producing for over 7 years. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I break down setting up your songs on BMI so that way you can get paid publishing royalties. So what is publishing royalties? Publishing royalties is basically when your song is played at venues, concerts, any performance, public place like a radio show or anything like that, you'll be getting royalties. But you have to make sure that you register your songs at these publishing sites like BMI so that way you can get those royalties. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to register your songs on BMI so that way you can get royalties. And let's just get straight into it. So I'm making this video for Hudayli, which is one of our inner circle artists, and she asked me to show her how to register her song with BMI so that way when she releases her album, she'll have everything set as far as royalties. So as you can see, this is the main page of BMI, right? This is what it looks like when you first log in. You got a whole bunch of articles or tutorials or all this stuff that basically they're just trying to teach you stuff. This is just a home page. What you really want to look at is this left hand side over here. So you'll see a whole bunch of stuff like your IP numbers, all your works, where to register your songs. In this website they call songs works. So where to register new songs, how to update songs. So if you just replace works with songs, it's easy to understand. And then everything else is, your royalties, how to see them, how to, like the accounting stuff, like about your money, right? So I don't want to get into all that. I want to keep it real simple. And we're going to go to register new works. That's where we're going to register our songs so that way this website can collect those royalties for that song. So let's click on that and then just give it 1 second. So this is what it looks like when you are about to create or add a new work or add a new song. So what we want to do is click on this green button, add a new song. As you can see, there's nothing here right now, but we're going to add new work. Boom. So this is step number 1 out of 5, which is the work info. Here, you're going to select which account you'd like to add this song to. So when I pull this up, I have 2 accounts. One is my publishing account and one is my actual personal account for all the songs that I make with other artists. Since the song that I'm about to register right now as an example is, let's say it's a song I did with an artist, I'm only going to use my personal account. And for you, it may just be only one account here. There may only be your name here and your account number. And so I want you to go ahead and click on that. And then when you see this option, right, select the type of work you are registering. Most of the time, we're going to go with all other genres. And here's why. Because if you go with classical is all about, classical music, like orchestras, like, the grand music. But all other genres is like pop, hip hop, rap, country, more not classical, not instrumental, more, songs, pop songs. So we're going to go ahead and click on that one and click next. Okay, great. So now we add the basic song info. And for this track that I'm about to register, it is called The Gray. So I'm going to go ahead and just type that in, The Gray. And then we have an option to put the duration of the song. I always like to do it. Doesn't take that long to just see how long the song is and then put it in. For this example, it's 3 minutes and 8 seconds. And then work content. What that means is they're asking us, is this like an instrumental? Is this music only? Or is this like a full song with lyrics in it and the music? And most of the time you're going to be doing music and lyrics because you have the lyrics, your vocals, and you have the song, which is the beat. And now we're going to do English. And then sometimes if you have, let's say, a song that goes by different like names or titles or or like you put a snippet out there and it has a different name and it's the same song, then you'd go ahead and do that. We're not going to do it for this one because it's not really necessary. So let's just click on next. All right, so here is step 2 of 5, which is other works. They're asking us in this first question, is this song a public song or like a translation song? Which means it's like, have you ever heard of the song Mary Had a Little Lamb or Little Star or something, or the national anthem, right? Those aren't songs that you made. They're public domain songs. They're open to the public. The public can use them, they can play them, they can sing them. And so if you're not making a remix of Mary, Mary Had a Little Lamb, and you're just having an original song, you want to click no, because it's not a public domain. Your song is an original piece. It's not, you know, Mary Had a Little Lamb, or what's another good example? The US national anthem, you know? So the next question is, does this work contain samples or medleys, I mean? So most of the time with songs, especially if it's an original song that you made from scratch, it's gonna be a no. Now, if you're in the hip hop genre, there's gonna be a lot of songs that have samples in it. So you wanna be clear on if your song, if the beat has a sample in it or not. But most of the time it's gonna be a no if you made an original song from scratch. So let's click on next. Are there any publishers on this work? So for my case, I do have a publisher account, but most of the time, if it's just you and the person who made the beat, it's gonna be a no. And a publishing company basically are the ones that are helping you register the songs to this. I'm not gonna get too deep into that in this video, but most of the time it's gonna be a no if you don't have a publisher. And that's okay. Let's click on next. So here we're gonna add a writer. So let's see, for this one, let's say we either can pick a writer. Whoops, let's get that out of the way. We can either pick a writer, and I have all these previous artists that I worked with before. I'm not, let's blur that out. But I have all the previous writers that I worked with before, or I can add a new writer, somebody new that I started working with. And let's say working with my good friend John Green. Let's imagine I'm working with somebody named John Green. That's the artist of this song, right? And they're the person who wrote the lyrics. So they're not the person who made the beat, which is the composer. They're the person who wrote the lyrics, which is the author. Now you can be a composer / author if you wrote the beat or you had a little bit of work in writing the beat and you wrote the lyrics. But for this case, John, he only made the lyrics, or he only wrote the lyrics. So let's do that. And then the IP name number, if somebody has a BMI account or a ASCAP account or PRO account, an account with BMI or any one of these other publishing websites, they're gonna have an IP number. And so in this case, I have mine here. We're just gonna use it as an example. Let's say John's IP number is this one, and that's specific to him. So what this means is whenever we put this number in, which is specific to John's account, that links this song and all the royalties that it gets to his account. This is super important, especially when you're working with somebody all for a long time, multiple times. This is how they're gonna get paid, right? You need to make sure that their IP number is in there. Now, if you don't know, just leave it blank for now, and then you can put NA as you don't know. But I know, let's say I know John and I know his IP name and he has a BMI account, right? So this is what I do for him. And let's say that me and John, we worked on the song 50-50. He wrote all the lyrics, I wrote the whole beat. And so the thing about BMI is when it comes to the percentages, it's not 100%. It's not out of 100%. It's out of 200%. So which means if he wrote all the lyrics, he gets 100% on the lyric side, and I get 100% on writing the beat, because we got to make up 200% of the whole pie, right? So in this case, I'll put 100% for him, and then click next, and then I'll add myself. Let's say I pick myself as the writer, I was the composer, the beat maker, here's my IP, and I wrote 100% of the beat. So I'm gonna get 100% of the writer's share. So now both John gets 100% for being the only one who wrote the lyrics, and I get 100% for being the only one who wrote the beat, and we each contribute to 100%, which is the total amount of percentage in the BMI, right? So let's move on. Now that we got him registered and I'm registered for this song, let's click on next. Are there any artists? So for this one, it's pretty simple, right? It's a yes, because let's say this is John's song, right? This is John's song, so we're gonna click next. He's the artist for it. Are there any recordings? We're gonna go with yes, right? Because we have a recording for it. And was this work created for film, TV theater, or music library? Now, I usually go with no, because I'm not making this song for a music library. That's a whole different thing. It's a whole different ball game. I'm making this song just to put it out there into the world, right? So we're gonna go ahead and click on next. And most of the time, it's gonna look like this for you guys, or for you, Hideli. Let's click on next. And then here we can add the artist. For him, we'll just put, Green, John Green. Let's say next. And then add the recording. So let's say it was a single. I'm gonna put in the title, which is The Gray, and the release date. Most of the time, we're already gonna have a release date scheduled, so I'll just put in that number, that date is coming out. Let's say it's coming out at the end of this month, right? And was this recording released by a record label? Let's say his record label was Rhythm and Revenue Records. Boom. And then click on next. Now you don't have to put the record label, like that's not mandatory, but I do like to put it just to make sure this system identifies the right song and we're getting paid for sure. I always try to be as specific as possible in these, so that way my songs are really being identified by the system, and so that way I can definitely make sure that those royalties from that song is going to me. That's why I'm trying to be as specific as I can be with the record label, the release date, the duration, is because I don't want the system to not pick up that that's my song and not get any royalties from it. That's why I do it. So let's continue. I want to click on next. And then the last step, 5, is just summary. We're just looking through everything just to make sure that all the details look good as much as we can. And the cool thing about it is you don't need to provide any sound recording, or you don't need to provide them the MP3 or wave of the song. You just got to get the specifics of everything right. Like, I like putting the duration, make sure the title is right, make sure that the release date, and I like doing these things. I try to get as specific as I can, so that way this system knows that that is my song and it collects that for me. I don't want any complications. I want it to be as specific as it can be. And now, if everything looks good, I want you to go ahead and go click on this box. It just says that you are submitting to the best of your knowledge, that all the information that you put in here is accurate, and that you read the terms and conditions. And once you do that, you can go ahead and click on submit. Now, I'm not going to click on submit because this is just a test. This is an example. I hope that helped, and I hope you got at least a little bit of value from this. That was just how you really quickly register your song on BMI so that you can get royalties. If that helped you, let me know in the comments, and let me know if you have any questions. All right, stay up and stay creative. Peace.